So the first thing I love after I see where you're watching from is you're welcome to post a relationship question. Hi, everybody else. If you're just joining me, I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh. I'm known as America's relationship expert. I have been reporting on research in the science of love for a few decades. I've written 3 books on relationships. I'm the host of the Dr. Wendy Walsh Show on KFI AM 640, which is on the iHeart Radio app that you can listen to there anytime. So I love to see where you're watching from. Yay, Kristen, another Angelino here, another California. So I usually do a few minutes on Wednesday night before I go over to my private community on Patreon, which I really encourage you to join and come on over. We do a lovely Zoom room that begins at 6:30. So who's got some relationship questions? Post them. I'm going to sit here quietly and see where you're watching from. Chicago, hi. More Mexico, hello. Oh, and down here too. Nadia is also from Mexico City. Hello, welcome. Where can you meet a lady friend? You're 70. Use those apps, babe. Everybody's on those apps of every age group. Trust me. So don't be shy. In fact, the largest growing population on dating apps are people over the age of 60. Yes, thoughts on dating apps and the observation that only a few men get dates. So here's the problem with the dating apps. There's a few alphas at the alpha males at the top that women are all clicking on and trying to match with and hoping that they'll get. And then there are a lot of men not getting responses. So obviously, this is an unfair advantage to some, but then women, on the other hand, are feeling frustrated because, surprise, surprise, they can't get a guy to commit because the ones they're chasing after tend to be the ones that are not commitment oriented. So my advice really is to women, which is women, so many really great guys are being squeezed out of the mating marketplace. Some would say being squeezed out of the marriage marketplace. So I want you to open up your search criteria. I want you to give the good guys a chance and don't all follow like a bunch of sheep to those few alphas who are really, enjoying riding this wave of free sex. I really think it's important that women understand if you're successful and you've college educated and made money, ladies, that your idea of a power man might be a guy that can power a stroller, because as long as you still want to marry somebody who makes more than you or has more education, that's patriarchy. That's patriarchy in your head. So if we really are going to be a little more gender neutral, like everyone loves to say, then you've got to open up your ideas about what a man is, what masculinity is, what's the definition of success. So anyway, more questions. How do you tell your friend to ditch a bad dude? Well, here's the problem. If somebody's in a relationship and you can see that they're being hurt emotionally, hopefully not physically, but it could even be that, then as soon as you badmouth that mate, then the two of them collude against you. You're now the bad guy on the outside. So what you need to do is just say, I love you. I want you to be happy. I will support you in this relationship if you feel that you need to be here at this time. But I want you to know that my personal opinion is I don't think it's good for you. And if and when you're ever ready to leave, I'm here for you. But for now, I will bite my tongue and just let it sit with that. Don't nag them. Don't say bad. Don't try to give evidence that he's bad. Just wait. And eventually he will reveal himself and she will feel safe coming to you about it, right? Okay. What else we got? How do you tell your ex to stop calling UB? What's UB stand for? Somebody tell me. What's UB stand for? Union Bank? On something? Somebody tell me. Maybe just stop calling. Maybe the ex is still trying to get you back or keep you as a backup mate or something. I don't understand the question. I know it was a mistake. Oh, just how to stop calling. My guy told a woman, okay, wait. My guy told a woman he loves her and he's visiting Cali. He said nothing to me and supposedly she's a friend. I'm so upset. Accepted him back because he put us in a relationship on Facebook. Should I leave? If you're upset and you can't express your feelings with this person, then Karen, you're so funny, ultimate bitch, maybe. you be, if he lied to you about where he was going or who he's going to be seeing, then you have trust issues in your relationship. If he didn't lie to you and you're just feeling insecure about this situation, ask yourself, how much is it about you and how much is it about him? Is he just putting you guys in a relationship on Facebook for public reasons? Perceived monogamy, social monogamy. You know what? I would ask your stomach. I think your gut knows. How does one let go after divorce? Well, there's a bunch of things you could do. First of all, you need to get out there and date other people so you can remind, and you also need to surround yourself by all kinds of friends and family and colleagues to remind you how lovable you really are. But you also need to remove triggers of your ex, photographs, mementos from vacations you took together. You got to redecorate, maybe even move, change things up, Marie Kondo your life so that your ex is not triggering you by not being there, if you know what I mean. And at the end of the day, it's about time. There is some research, though. Neuroscientists say that if you can imagine your ex regularly as a very, very bad person, it helps you separate. So just saying. Any questions over here? I'm saying hello now to Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter, and I don't see the commenting except Sai is always talking about what I look like. Oh, Glenn, I need to put this up here. Okay. We have a good relationship, but she's 1,000 miles away. I'm lonely. I need to say something. That's not a relationship. Now, if it's temporary, okay. If you've already been in a relationship in one city and someone had to go away for vacation, for work, whatever, and you know that there's an end date to it, then you can shore yourself up and hold on. But if it's just sort of, first of all, if you met online and you haven't even been with them, that's not a real relationship. I'm just saying that because other people here might be in that situation. But if you don't have an end date, meaning when you're going to see them again, even if it's just for a visit, an actual trip booked, not maybe sort of, then of course you're going to feel a lot of anxiety about separation. It's called separation anxiety. So yeah. I'm just going to put Sai's flower up because I want to take Glenn off the screen. Okay. How do I tell my friend to stop chasing young girls? You know what? Some men use sex as a drug. Some men use youth as a way to fend off their feelings of aging. It's really, they have their own insecurity. I mean, generally, I will say that peers stay attracted to peers across the lifespan because who wants to be with somebody who doesn't have the same references in life, the same memories, and also the same, is in the same timing of life, right? So anyway, you can't tell them. They just got to go through their thing. Well, I'm glad the sex is good for you, alpha male, but I wonder how many broken hearts you are leaving behind. And I wonder if you really care about a woman's feelings and emotions. And I'm wondering if you know that when a woman has sex, sometimes her body actually attaches. And then you go think she's a crazy bitch because she's texting and calling all the time when actually her body has fallen in love with you. And so I think you need to respect that and not use people. Okay. I have time for like one more. Look, if it makes you feel weird, then why are you staying there? That's what I say. Girlfriend of 2 years refused to block, unfollow her FWB, friends with that was still DMing her. Okay, so here's the thing about love and relationships. It's okay to have boundaries. So why don't you have a boundary and say, I can't be with you if this is how you're going to be. This is not how my partner would behave. Think about your standards. It's absolutely okay to put boundaries on somebody, put boundaries on a relationship. Sitting around and being a doormat while you're nagging, nobody changes their behavior because of nagging. They change their behavior because they're afraid of losing you or because you actually leave, not because you threatened. Okay, I have time for maybe one more quick question and then I want everybody to know that you should come and join my Patreon community. It's a brain trust of really fun people who love to talk about the science of love and relationships. We meet on Zoom at 6:30 Pacific time, which is in about 15 minutes, every single Wednesday. Plus, I send you blogs and articles quite regularly. Plus, you get access to my podcast, Mating Matters. And if you're really into it, you can join the Love Science Education level, where I actually teach classes and all kinds of things. This semester, we're doing developmental psychology, but we always do something that has to do with the science of love. Aren't there also negative side effects on men's mental health with casual sex? It depends. Every man's different. You see, we have the widest range of sexual behavior in our males of any primate species. We also have the widest range of paternal investment. So in one species, you've got one dude whose only investment in his kids is a teaspoon of sperm. You got at the other end of the scale, a guy who's a baby wearing, carpool driving, softball throwing, doting dad. And we have everything in between. And the same goes with sexuality. There are some men that can just have sex and sex and sex and never feel connected and never need to feel connected, and they're fine. They wouldn't be the kind for me, by the way. And there are other men who can't even have sex unless they have feelings of love, right? And we have everything in between. How does a woman tell a man it's only about sex? So you're using him for his body. I mean, I have no problems with short-term relationships or relationships based just on sex, but they do change. You know, it's all fun and games till somebody falls in love. The most important thing is that you're honest and you're clear about what you want. And that's the most important thing. Okay, with that said, I'm leaving because I'm going over to my Patreon Zoom room. You can join at any time, patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. That's patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. I am going to, I think, maybe even pour myself a glass of wine and settle down with my Patreon community because I love them. It's so much fun. Good to see you guys.